Hello again, it's Dawn here from Dawn's Inspirations. Just wanted to share a quick tutorial with you. This is for a little gift box that you can make. It's all made out of one sheet of 12 by 12 double-sided pattern cardstock. It's quite a substantial box. I fastened this one with Velcro, and as you open it up on the inside there's space there to put a little gift. The beauty of making these as well is once you've made them you can store them flat, so you've always got them ready for if you want to put a gift or make a table gift for anybody coming along. They're beautiful to put on the Christmas table at Christmas with a few chocolates in them, and then you can put people's place names on them, so that's quite a nice idea. This one I've made, this is for more feminine. This one's got a little rose on it, and I put a belly band round here with some ribbon. There again I fastened it with Velcro dots, but there again inside the same. So you can put a little gift or some chocolates, ideal for a teacher's gift or table decoration or any gift really that's quite small. So I wanted to show you how to make it. There's a few tutorials around on the internet. A lady called French Martin, she did one. I did find it quite hard to follow, so I've made this myself, and a few people that have seen it have asked me to do a tutorial on my YouTube video, so on my YouTube channel. So here we go. So all you need to get is a sheet of double-sided pattern paper, and I'm going to use my score pal for this. If you haven't got a score pal, a ruler and some sort of scoring implement, bone folder, will work just as well. Okay, so I'm going to use my score pal. I'm going to be doing the measurements in inches, so I hope that's okay with everybody. So this is my pattern paper. Now first of all you need to decide which is going to be your inside and which is going to be your outside. Well, I'm going to put this one on the outside to then make it a bit more masculine look. I've also prepared myself a strip of just normal cardstock to coordinate with the outside of the box to make a belly band to go round at the end. This, we're going to cut this down to about 10.5, but it's actually measuring 2 inches across, but we'll come to that later on. So that's for the belly band decoration. So you start off, take the mat out of my score pal. So your paper should measure 12 by 12, and then we're going to start off by scoring. We're going to score at 1.5 inches all the way down, 3 inches, sorry, so that's 1.5 and 3 inches, 3 3/4, 8 1/4, 9 inches, and 10.5 inches. Now I also find with pattern paper, especially if you're using quite a thick one, it's best to try and break the fibres down on both sides. So what I'm going to do is literally flip it all the way over, and I'm going to do those measurements again on this side. So just to break down the fibres, so when we fold it, we don't get any cracking of the paper. So we start off at 1.5, 3, 3 3/4, 9, 8 1/4, 9 inches, and 10.5. So this will help to break the fibres of the paper, so when we fold it we don't get any cracking in the paper. You're now going to get your paper and do a quarter turn, and then along this side we're going to score at 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 7.5 inches, and 9 inches. I'm then going to flip over again to break the fibres of my paper. So 3, 4.5, 7.5 and 9 inches. I'm now going to put my pad on so we can do some burnishing of the paper. Now I've already decided I'm going to have the spotty side on the outside, so we're now going to fold everything inwards. So with your paper that has 1.5, 3, 3 3/4, 8 1/4, 9 and 10.5, they're the score lines you need at the top. So you should then have to turn your paper another quarter of a turn round. So at the top of your in front of you here, you should have the 1.5, 3, 3 3/4, 8 1/4, 9 and 10.5. Okay, and then we're going to start folding everything in. So I'm going to fold from the side first and get your bone folder and really burnish down these fold lines, because the more you burnish them, the easier it's going to be to fold this project. It is a bit like origami, this project, and that is why you need to have some really crisp folds on here. So I can't emphasise that enough. This paper's not too thick, but obviously some cardstocks or paper stocks will be quite thick, and that is why you really need to take this time with your folds. So bring this side in, because all you're doing is you're making the paper have another memory now. You can already see it starting to take the score lines on because we've scored both sides of the paper stock, but it does help to do it, still give it a good burnish down, and you'll see why as we go through. So they're the side ones. We're now going to do the top and bottom ones. So again, burnishing all the time. The last one. Okay, so that's all your score lines that we've made, all now burnished together. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to do a quarter turn so we can fold. I can fold away from myself because I just find this is easier. Okay, so I'm going to fold these in just to make sure they're all done, which is nice. Now with this one, we're going to now fold these corners in. Now we obviously haven't got a score line for these corners, but what you're going to do is we're going to fold them in to match this line here. Okay, so if you get your corner, it'd probably be better. No, we'll do it around this way. I'm just double checking what I'm doing here just to make sure it's correct. Yeah. So this corner here is going to go right up to this corner here. So let me just show you on that one. So we've gone over this score line and up to this score line. We're going to do the same on this one. Finish that down again. Okay. Ooh. Didn't do that very well there. Lost my concentration there, sorry. Okay. I'm going to bring this one in on this side. And this one on this side. There we go. Just matching that up. Bring it on over a little bit more. Right, so now your paper should start to look like this. So I've got this on a 12 by 12 score pal here. Okay, so because we did that half turn, so at the top here I've got the 4.5 and 7.5. So that's the line down there, and these are folded in on there. Okay, now we're going to quarter turn again. Still got the same measurement on the top here, even when you quarter turn it. Still got the 4.5 and 7.5, but on this side we've got 1, 2, 3 score lines, and on the top and bottom you've only got the 2. Okay, so we're now going to start folding this in. So we're going to fold in this way. Again, burnish these down, because as we put more paper on these corners, they really need to be folded in. And then we're going to go in again here. Trying to show you this in the best way. Just have to push that paper in on itself. In fact, if I take that out like that, it might be easier to show you. But you really need to burnish these corners down. So what we've done is we've gone in and we've done 1 fold, 2 folds, and we're going to do the 3rd one now. Now you do have to watch with these, because they do want to jump up. That's why I'm just doing 1 at a time for the minute, then we can go back and I'll show you with the extra folds. That's it, so that's down there now. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3 folds. So now this side we've got these little flaps, so let's just do it again on this side. So first one in, unfold your extra creases. Now go in on the second one. Now you just have to get this paper to come over, because on these corners where we folded in we've got no score lines, so we really need those to get set, otherwise the box won't fold together towards the end. And then we're going to do the last fold over. So we're going to bring it over again, making sure this tucks in nice and neatly. And this side again. Just take a little bit of time on this. The more you make these boxes, the easier it does become. And it does pay just to get all your folds correct. So now on each side we've done the extra 3 folds, so these corner pieces now have all got their folds on them. Okay, now at this stage what you could do is we could put a little bit of glue just on these, because we're not going to necessarily need those flapping about, and I think I'm going to do that this time. So I'm just putting a little bit of wet glue, not a lot, just a little bit on these, just to stick those down, because it just helps make the box a bit neater towards the end. On there. Any wet glue will do. I mean, I'm using the Kalal all-purpose glue. It's just my glue of choice, because I find for these sort of projects it sticks quite quickly. It gives you some wiggle room, and if you get it on your paper you can just rub it off, which is even more perfect. Right, now at this stage I want to do another quarter turn again. So you have your 3 fold lines, top and bottom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because we're going to now fold up away from ourselves. Okay, so we're going to fold this flap in. And we fold it in again like that, just so it's all burnished down. Because now put that bit of glue on there. Just make sure that's working. Right, we're going to fold that in. These little corners here, I don't know whether you can, these little corners here need to pop out. So we're going to do it like that. Can you see that on the camera? I think you can. Yes, I think that looks okay. If I just burnish them again, it will just show you. By sticking that piece down there, see where it was wet glue and I've been able to pop it up again, that's absolutely fine. So what you have is, if we fold this one over, you've obviously got the triangles going in, but now we've got the triangles popping out, because this is going to be the sides of your box when we put it together. Okay, Right, so you've got your two little flaps here. So I'm going to do a half turn now, and I'll do it again with you. I just find it easier to do it away from myself. So you've got your corner piece, your top first flap that comes down. So pull out your little triangles and fold it down flat, and then just push these either side so they stick up like two little wings. Okay, can you see that? Okay, I'll show again just in case. So there's your triangles folded in, your three flaps. You fold this over, and under here you have a triangle, and you get your finger and you pull it out. Right, I think everyone should have that now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to fold it onto the last fold line, and then we fold it back on itself. Now I found with doing a few of these boxes that at this stage it's quite good to do a little bit more gluing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this out, and I'm just going to run a little piece of glue just along here. So if you want to do that at the same time, so I'm going to put a bit of wet glue on both sides. I'm not doing it all the way along, just as you can see where I'm doing it there. Okay, pull my flaps out, and then this is going to go over on itself, and I'm going to push that down, and then get my bone folder, press all that glue down, and then I'm going to pull this flap out. So you're going to have then resembling this. So I'll do it again on the other side. So I'll put a little piece of wet glue along there. I'm going to fold this over, run along with my bone folder, and then pull that flap out with your two bits of triangle sticking up. Okay, so that's that stage. Now we need to do a quarter turn. Keep getting my quarter and halves mixed up. We're going to now fold this in so it's resembling that shape. Now you're going to fold into your second line. Get your bone folder again. Just really burnish that side down, because you've got lots of folds of paper there now. I'm going to do the same again with this first one. This one's a little bit harder because the paper hasn't been folded quite as much. So really press that down. Do the same again with this end. And the same with the last one. That's gradually going to come together now. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. If you wanted to make them and store them flat, that's absolutely fine to do, because you can add embellishments and belly bands, etc. afterwards. You can even just tie them with a loose ribbon, looks just as nice. But this is the stage when you get to, with it being flat out right, then if you just lift upwards and bring these sides in, you're going to see where the natural box is going to fold itself. So you just have to tease it up on the second fold. I think it's best to show, and then on the top fold, and that's what makes your box. And it's strange that all of a sudden from that it all starts to come together. And it comes together like this because you've really burnished your fold lines down. Now again here we can do a little bit more gluing. What you could do at this stage is you could glue these corners if you wish. Don't have to, it's entire preference. There again you can use whatever glue you prefer. So I'm going to just do the corners, I'm not going to do all the flaps. Now obviously I'm using wet glue and I'm not really giving it time to dry, but it's just giving you the idea. I don't think double-sided tape is quite the same, but I prefer to use the wet glue myself. So there again, if I pull the middle, even though my glue is still wet unfortunately, push one side up, push the other side up, and there's your box. And then you can put one flap over and the other flap over, and there's your nice sturdy box. Okay, now we can finish this off in several ways. As I said, we could do a bow. Let me find a piece of ribbon here. I've got something that will match nicely. This is just some crushed silk ribbon, so you could just tie it with a bow if you want to do a sort of luxurious gift. So you could have it tied with a nice bow and put a gift tag on it if it's a present. Okay, you could also do a belly band. So we can do a belly band as well. All you're doing with the belly band is doing your measurements. So you just need to measure this side, which is 1.5, and measure that side, which is 3. And I'll show you how we'll do the belly band. Get your scoreboard again. I'm going to come in a bit to start with. So let's start, say, 2.5. And the first measurement was 1.5, wasn't it? So we go 2.5, 4. Then it was 3, so we go 7. And then another 1.5, which is 8.5. And then I'd probably bring it, say, 10.5 and cut it. Let's just see if that will fit. Okay, you'd need to use Velcro dots here. So you need one with the furry bit and one with the hooked piece. So get your box, pop your belly band round. I'll put it round that way so it's longer on that side. So that's your belly band to go round, and then you can stick Velcro dot on there. And if we put the sticky side onto that piece, and then I'm going to close the box shut, hold the belly band tight, and that sticks down there. And then what we could do is you can finish these off either as feminine or masculine. Now obviously I've got different styles here. The one I've got here really could be for a female or a male. I've got a nice brad here that I thought matched in, and I've got some flowers, so I think I might put a flower on this one. These are just some paper flowers that I had, so I think we'll put a selection of these on here. Put little ones on first. Oop. That little one hasn't got a hole in it, which is typical as I'm filming, but see if that will poke through. Yeah, it's just going to go through. I think that flower's going to be a bit small, but you get some interest with the layers on there. Put this bigger one on, and then put that one on. And then that can be stuck on the top of the box like that. So there's lots of different things you can do to decorate these boxes, as you can see, but the maker do make a nice little gift box or a table box to put some chocolates in, ready for, well, anything really, a present, Christmas, a party. They're quite nice with a few chocolates in as party gifts to give away instead of party bags for older children as well. So that's my take on a decorative box made out of one sheet of 12 by 12 double patterned cardstock. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave some comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you go over to my website, dawnsinspirations.com, you can see all the measurements there. I'll put all the measurements down and you can see the video again. But I'd love to hear your comments, and also if you do get round to making some, I'd love to see some pictures of what you made. You can check me out on Facebook or Twitter. So this is Dawn here from Dawn's Inspirations. Thank you for watching.